commissioner on the board, or are we a board member?
I'm doing everything. Board member. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, new board. So we're all here. It is, what time is it? It is 5:32, and we are now calling the meeting to order. We do have a quorum here tonight. We're just missing one board member. Can we please stand and pledge the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Now that we have all been reappointed board members, a little housekeeping. We do have to elect new chair and vice chair this year. So I am going to open the nominations for the chair of the Recreation Board. Board Member Rand, do you have a nomination?
Is that good, Sarah? I nominate Dennis Mitchell for the role of chair of the Recreation Board.
Is there a second
I
nomination?
second.
Is there a second nomination?
I second it.
Anybody else want to nominate anybody else?
No other nominations? The nominations are done. We're going to close the floor to any other nominations. I'll now call for a board vote for the board members. For Dennis Mitchell for chair, please vote. Whoops, we're waiting.
Oh. You can vote off of that tablet over there. Okay, Cheryl. Yes. I voted yes. What about John? John's here. John, you gonna vote with us?
I'll give it away.
It's showing individual results. We're going to do it again.
Redo. Do over. Oh, sorry, yes, yes.
Let's try this button.
Did you tap your screen? Tap the screen. Oh, yeah.
The vote passes 8-0. We'll now open the floor for nominations for vice chair of the Recreation Board. Board Member Rand.
I nominate Board Member Jit Saha for the role of Vice Chair of the Recreation Board.
Is there any other nominations for vice chair? There are no others, so we will.
Carla's going to second my motion, right?
I'll yeah,
Okay.
both
Okay.
second it.
The floor is closed to any further nominations. Please vote. The vote passes 8-0. The Recreation Board has voted in favor of Board Member Saha as the Vice Chair for calendar year 2025. The Vice Chair will assume the role at the next meeting or work session of the Recreation Board. We're going to go now to the approval of the minutes from April 23rd, 2025. The minutes have been distributed to you in the agenda packet prior to the meeting for your review. Are there any corrections to the minutes? If none, can I ask for approval?
Sure. I move to approve the minutes as written from the April 23rd, 2025 Recreation Board meeting.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
It has been moved by Board Member Saha and seconded by Board Member Klein that we approve the minutes as written from the April 23rd, 2025 board meeting. I will now call for a vote. The vote passes 6 to yes and 2 that abstained. 602. Thank you, everyone. We are going to now go to staff presentations and community agricultural and sustainability services. Amanda. I know, it's been a while.
They showed a lot to say to us. Showed a lot to say to us. We haven't seen you in a long time.
But some great stuff. Did a report. So hopefully you had an opportunity to review the survey results and the participant feedback from our community compost program. We are almost rounding 1 year on that program, and we have 58 families that are participating. The feedback is great. I'm not going to go through it. I know you've read it, but the comments are wonderful. The amount of CO2 carbon that we were able to sequester is the equivalent of 16 acres of forest, which is very exciting. That's only 58 families. Imagine if we had 1,500 families participating. So I'm really, really proud of where we are with that program at this time. I think we can still grow it, but I'm really happy with the participation that's happened. I also wanted to share that last month, the Atlanta Regional Commission hosted their LUC meeting, which stands for Land Use and Coordinating Committee. It's a quarterly meeting that they host, and that particular meeting was centered around the city agriculture planning. So we had representatives from about 24 cities in the 5 metro area that the ARC serves, and Food Belt Alliance was also there. It was a great honor for Old Rock Farms to be the host for this meeting. And a lot of people were, it was their first time visiting our city farm. So it was a great opportunity to really show one of our values. The landscaping at the Adult Activity Center, if you haven't seen it, has been transformed from what it was to now what we like to call productive landscape of not only human edible but native plants and edible to butterflies, not butterflies, but the larvae of the butterflies. So we have a lot of milkweed over there, so we're hoping to see some monarchs within the next couple of years as everything really fills in. When you go and visit it, don't expect a fully grown landscape. Majority of these plants were propagated by residents in partnership, so it was truly a community agriculture program. And so many of them are small plants. They will grow, and in 2 years, it will be a full lush landscape. So it's a different kind of landscaping that we've done there. This is the same type of landscaping that we did at the Wilson Park Recreation Center in the fall, which now is really Cambridge High School Agri Box ended the year with the highest scholarship to the students that we've had yet. We only had 2 students in the program, but this year they both received $1,249 to go
Great.
to college. One is going to Kennesaw and the other is going to Georgia Tech. So we're really proud of them and all the work they did for just 2 people to do the work of that program. We tell them at the beginning of the year, it's a college level course. Really, if you're trying to compare, and they did a great job. We're really proud of them. Our adventure camp, this is the very first year that it's sold out every week. We're
Great.
really proud of that. We have 20 kids every week for every week in June. And for a lot of the kids, this is their 2nd or 3rd year. And this is the 2nd week of camp, and for some of the kids, it's their 2nd week this year. So we have a lot of return kids. If this is your thing, if this is your kids' thing, this is the camp for them. So we're really excited, really happy and proud to be able to provide that. Save the date for the fall harvest. Please put that on your calendar. I'd love to have you there. where we provide the incubator and the cage and all the food and all of that. So those 2 baby chicks are now back in the coop with the rest of them. Unfortunately, only one's going to stick around because one of them started cockroach doing this week. So can't have that. And the last thing that I'll share is that we have already surpassed 1,500 pounds to North Wilton Community Charities Food Bank for the year. That is from this time last year. That's a 100% increase in our food donation.
That's great.
The food bank of fresh food. So I'm really, really proud of that as well. That's all that I have.
One question.
Yes, sir.
The fall harvest date,
Yes.
what is it?
Oh,
You said save the date.
I'm so sorry. Sunday, September 21st.
September 21. Okay, thank you.
Amanda, I just want to say, if anybody wants their kids to be snacking on pickled vegetables that they have done themselves, Ag Camp is the place to go. Furthermore, they were inspired to make some homemade salsa from what they were able to harvest and bring home. And Old Rucker Farm is a super special place where they came home with hands that were dirty, minds that were engaged, and hearts and bellies that were full. So thank you to you and the team.
Any other questions?
Sure.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, first of all, to the ag program, I wish you had shared a picture of the fort that they made, because that was pretty cool.
I will send, I took some pictures today. Did you drive by and see it?
I was there Saturday, so it was really cool. I did have a question on the composting program. Clearly, the people who participate are excited about joining, and you had like 95% said yes, they're going to continue. For the 5% that did not, what was the fee? Did they give any share of the reason? And that's all.
Unfortunately, I was looking for that and I didn't have any.
Works. Thank you.
Board Member Rand?
I wanted to ask about more about the composting program. That was where people got like a special price on those home composters. Was that like were we responsible to sell so many of those to this okay, so it was just however many you sell, you sell. Okay, because I thought the goal initially was to get, 100 of them out and to the,
That was just our program goal. That
Yeah.
was, I made
a high, very high goal, yeah.
said, here's where we want to get, but we didn't have any requirements.
From the vendor, okay. Okay, so, and he'll continue offering it at that good price, or is that finished? Okay.
That's great.
I had one more. At one time, you were helping the North Fulton Community Charities with a garden. Is that still going, or did they give up on that?
Yes, and that's a great question, actually. I was just talking with my team today. We say that we have, under our program umbrella, 1 community garden, but the truth is we actually have 3, because we have community garden at Old Rucker Farm, and then, as you said, Cheryl, we helped North Fulton build a 10-bed garden on the food bank property, which we provide all the seeds and seedlings for that, just like the school program.
Uh-huh.
And then we just recently helped NFCC build their 2nd garden, which is at Bridge to Grace Church in East Roswell.
Okay,
And that also has 10 beds, which we designed for them, gave them all the recommended vendors and where to buy things, and designed the crop plan for them, and gave them the seeds and seedlings. So I need to begin thinking differently about how I think about what our community gardens are.
Uh-huh.
Because we're supporting lots of schools, lots of nonprofits, not lots, 2 nonprofits with their garden spaces, which I think is great.
yeah.
So to answer your question, yes, the one at the food bank is done, and there has also been a 2nd one built at a church in East Roswell with our support.
Are they having any trouble getting people to help do the harvesting, do the watering, or that's something that's going on fairly seamlessly?
It seems to be going on really seamlessly. Bob and Rosie Hoff, if you know them, they are very active in North Fulton Community Charities Food Bank community,
Yeah,
and also within the Alpharetta Community Agriculture.
yeah, that's what
Program.
I thought.
And so they've really kind of taken the lead on helping to lead the volunteers for the food bank.
Okay,
Unfortunately, we don't see them as much. as we
exactly,
used to,
yeah,
But
but,
that's okay. They're doing great work over there, and that's great.
okay, fair enough.
Super.
Any other questions?
No, that's what I had.
Amanda, thank you. We are now going to Cultural Services and Kimberly Zane.
Hold on one second. Am I good? Okay. Good to see everybody. How are you? Good to see you. Kind of run through the report. I think I was here last month, so I have a few things to share with you, so that was good. Camps are kicking off classes. We are very, very busy. I love the energy at the Art Center. We have a lot of people in and out every day, parents dropping off. And I wanted to share a few of the classes that we had. We've had rock band, we have things even going on, just like Amanda's mentioned, you think of just the Art Center, well, we have camps at the log cabin also, simultaneously taking place, and camp counselors at both locations. We have a recycled art that we're doing in the back at the community art garden. As a reminder, in the back of the Art Center, we have an outdoor art garden that we do, and that changes themes. And our art studio in the Go-Go will go out, do art in the community at different parks, and then we'll put it on display back in the garden behind the Art Center. So take a walk back there if you're ever over there. I wanted to share some numbers from our ceramics camp. From our ceramics program. In 2024, we had 298 clay students, and we received about $12,000 in supply fees. But this year, we've had 437 clay students with about $18,000 in supply fees. So our ceramics program is just growing. We've moved it out into the other studios, and we've had to do some shared flexible space. But that's the demand, and I think your kids were in that. I think, Jet, you recently participated in a class.
Rosita's awesome.
Yeah. If I had seen your pictures on Facebook before I had finished my report, they might have shown up on the picture.
So the ceramics class, is it pottery throwing, or is it just painting pre-made? No, it's the wheel?
No wheel.
No wheel.
The class I did was no wheel. It's just simply hand shaping. You roll the
Oh,
clay.
hand building, okay.
We had Paint the Town. We had 68 artists this year. So we had, I don't know if you saw artists around town painting. We just took the show down yesterday. And they had a new part this year where they painted at night. Those paintings were beautiful. I was really surprised about the turnout on those. We had a grand opening of the Spotlight. I don't know who was able to attend, but it's officially open. So yay, it's been a long time coming. You've heard me talk about it a lot up here. I see you see a little picture of Kurt, you see yourself over here?
Where is he? Oh, yeah, there he is.
This is our packet that we have. We are open for office hours at the mall, at the Spotlight, on Wednesday through Friday in the afternoon. So we set up official office hours because we're open at night and on weekends for shows. And if you want our packet, this is our application. We have equipment rentals, stage dimensions, and we're booking the fall season right now.
Can people just rent the space that are residents as well?
Absolutely. Please, yeah. If you have anybody, it can be, the space is flexible. We could put tables in there, and you could have a speaker during the day, and then we could rotate into a singer-songwriter show at night. So it's meant for them.
And Kim, how many people does it accommodate?
Seating, if you did theater style, it depends on the show. If you're seeing like a comedian, because of line of sight, you could probably go up to about 165. If you had a theater show, I would probably bring that down to about 140, because you can't quite see because of the columns. So about 150 if you had to give a number for theater style seating.
And when you say you could bring tables, if it was like cabaret style seating?
If you wanted to have like a speaker and do rounds and maybe do like where people were working in teams or something like that, probably about 80 maybe.
May I ask how many signups you've had so far?
We actually have a tutu ballet class that's giving their final performance, a local school. We actually have School of Rock getting their final performance. We have a couple of theater shows that we're confirming right now and working out their schedules. We probably have, I think, 7 or 8 bookings at this point.
That's awesome.
The Arts and Culture Master Plan is almost complete. Right now, we have I can call it almost final copy from the consultant. We'll be presenting it at the Cultural Arts Commission meeting the end of June. And we're not sure yet if that will be a workshop meeting or if we're going to be able to do it for final approval. If it is a final approval with the Cultural Arts Commission, we'll be taking it to council sometime probably in July. And we'll see, and they will review it in a workshop, and then we'll have to take it back for their final approval. Juneteenth is coming up. We have actually a lot planned on Juneteenth, and we have great partnerships. AKA Sorority is their 4th year with us, and they are doing a whole program starting from 3 to 5 outside. Then you'll shift inside, and we have a gallery reception from 5 to 6:30 with food. And then at night, we have a jazz celebration. And this shows a little bit here who are all the partners. We have the Atlanta Federation of Musicians. Arts Alpharetta is their event here that they reached out and partnered and created. I wanted to show all of we're going to be kind of busy, but if you can come out, we have parking. We'll have a police officer. We have parking at the school, at the elementary school, and then we've rented parking down the street, all within walking distance. We'll also have a student show in the studio gallery. So we've initiated and requested students to create art, and we have classes associated around the Juneteenth. If someone just wants to participate on June 19th, you can come in and do some letterpress prints and participate in that way also. On June 18th, we have been working on this project since 2020, and we're finally releasing the film documentary for Bailey Johnson.
Oh.
And it's about an hour and a half. It'll make you cry. I'm just forewarning you. It's very, very real story, local story. It's very meaningful. We will do the release on the 18th here in the council chambers here. And if you can't make it, we'd love to have you. But, I almost forgot to hand out here.
Thank you.
We are asking for RSVPs because we have limited seats. We have about 180 that we could seat in here, 160, and then we'll put some chairs around the outer edge. Wanted to share the Alpha Loop. We are working on Alpha Loop bridge murals. If you've walked the Alpha Loop, you'll know you cross over bridges. We were looking for opportunity to put murals along the Alpha Loop, and we came up with this idea. We're working with the Alpha Loop Foundation. They have raised money so far for 2 murals, for 2 of the bridges. And so we're going to activate that and try to get those painted by the end of July. And it's exciting. It's going to bring color to the Alpha Loop, and we're going to be taking the designs to the Cultural Arts Commission meeting for approval also.
So you already have the artists?
We did. We put out a call for artists, and I think we had like 11 submit, and we've got it narrowed down now. But we've got the money for 2. The city will help pay for supplies, and the Alpha Loop Foundation will pay the artist. Another partnership that we're working on is we have already installed all of these art plaques. I just wanted to kind of show you a swallowtail. I don't know, this is right by Midwick subdivision. So if you're walking on the Alpha Loop, and this is our plaque, how that will look. It has Arts Alpharetta, City, Empire paid for the sculpture, and the Alpha Loop Foundation created the partnership with Empire for the sculpture. So we're trying to do creative ways to get art on the Alpha Loop. The signage here on the Alpha Loop. The 2 pictures on your left are from the Greenway. And when you scan, this was a partnership with the Alpharetta Convention and Visitors Bureau. When you scan this, it takes you to a map where you're standing right there. to show you where you are on the Greenway. We're mimicking that for the Alpha Loop and partnering with the Alpha Loop Foundation. These are just images that we've created. They're not installed yet, but we'll be installing those over the next month or so. The upcoming events, we have the Alpharetta chapter meeting. If you want to learn about photographing water and nature, you can stop by. That's free. They do a monthly learning session at the Art Center. Alpha Jazz, they have a dance group at the American Legion. This is from the Alpharetta City Band, and they do jazz. They have a jazz band, so they're pretty good. Concert band, they're doing a patriotic for the July 4th event at Village Park and also at the American Legion Post. And that's my report. Any questions?
Any questions?
Kim,
Oh.
I'm sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
go on.
Kim, I hate to ask you this every time, but when are the concerts gonna start again this year?
Which concerts are
The
those?
concerts over at the Art Center,
At the Art Center. They'll start in August,
August?
towards the
Thank
end of August.
Jid had mentioned some time ago about the pickup of kids at the art center to match how they were picking them up at Wills Park or whatever. Has that all been sorted? What is the process now for picking up kids from their programming?
They just drive up to the Art Center or to the log cabin, and we have, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
drop them
yeah.
off? Yeah. We just pull in to the parking area, and we have our camp counselors out there. And
Just
just-
load them in and
we
go
take
off,
'em
and it's
inside.
not so complicated?
No,
Okay,
mm-mm.
okay.
Any other questions?
We good?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Recreation Services, Christine Young will not be here tonight. Her report is available for your review in the packet. We go to Park Services with Eric Miley.
Hello, everybody.
How are you?
Pretty good. Been a couple of months, I guess. And I don't have much on my report. So basically, as we approach the end of the fiscal year, we're looking through several accounts to fund some incomplete projects, wants and needs in all parks, common areas, mainly things like tree removal, concrete repairs, some sod and plant and landscape replacement, windscreens and just anything that we can use to spend those extra funds. Also, all these parks and trails and common areas and athletic fields, they're getting used more and more. Which is a good thing. There's no real downtime, so we're having to our maintenance schedules are constantly changing. Just to scheduling around peak times of usage. So we're just having to constantly change everything what we do, which is challenging, but it's a good thing. So. And honestly, that completes my report. There's not much on there.
End of the year, so yes. Any questions for Eric?
I do. So how are the fountains doing this year? How are we doing for fountains?
Yeah, everything's good on the fountains. We had, on the line had fountain, one of the swans. Somebody hit it with a soccer ball and broke that. So I'll have to price. Yeah, the line had fountain over here on the wall. So I'll look at replacing that, come July. But yeah, no, everything's
Everything's working? We
Everything-
haven't had, no, I don't see the bubbles like we used to in fountains. Is that not a thing anymore for the kids to load it up with tile?
Well, there's only so many graduations. Sometimes they like to do that. Yeah. No, but we haven't had that in a while. Knock on wood. Yeah.
The other question I had is parking at North Park. Is there any movement on the battle between the seniors and the pickleballers? Or, what's,
I don't have a.
You don't know. You don't know.
I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. I know that they, that signage is out there and this and that, but people
yeah,
do what they want to do anyway.
that's true. That's the thing about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't really have a, people have to police themselves at times. So I don't know what to.
Okay. Because the parking lot's getting a little gnarly too. I didn't know if you knew that, if there was a plan to, if that was in
Yeah,
this year.
they do have there is a plan, and I'm not sure when it is, to repave that parking lot up there at the senior center,
North Park, the one out in front of the Adult Activity Center.
adult activity center.
Yeah, the block grant that, it's anticipated to be moving forward, but it is federal funding, so we're kind of waiting on kind of that stuff to kind of.
Are we gonna get somebody to look at it too, to see if they can't optimize the parking there in any way to make it more space, more
Yes,
something?
there's going to be some adjustments that you can, with the money that we got, there's not a whole lot we can do, but we are going to be doing some adjusting, especially to handicap parking, kind of moving things, shifting things to a little bit more practical access to the building. That's going to be the major adjustment. Other than that, it's going to be,
Well, the handicap parking at the center is like impossible because almost everybody in there qualifies to be in the handicap parking space.
Understood.
Yeah,
But
so-
there's only so much. That
Yeah,
we-
you could only
we-
get
we
so
can
close
do,
to the
so,
door. I
yeah.
mean, I know.
So we are making it more accessible. Granted,
Is there any talk?
Yeah, you're right. You could be adding more, but right now you can only have so much space to add that. It'll be adequate and compliant to, ADA.
Is there any chance of moving the bus barn out, to use some of that space there for parking?
We have discussed that. It's just no practical location to relocate that or or to park the buses. For right now, it's going to stay in place.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I know one of the things that we did talk about was, the two little tree wells that are right there, is removing those,
Well, thank you.
right by the bus barn.
Okay.
So that, we did talk about that.
Okay.
Removing trees.
So,
Yeah.
Cheryl had mentioned.
Well, we can plant them someplace else, not those trees, new trees.
So Cheryl had also mentioned potentially parking on the street next to the, how is that possible to have parking lines drawn on the entrance road coming in, or is that too narrow?
Yeah, I would think that would be too narrow in there.
Even on one side?
I mean, I don't know. He's asking about parking, like at the entrance.
On the
Pull in
road,
or
on that
park on one
entrance
side.
road?
As you pull in off of Cogburn Road, if we would put parking spaces on one side, like parallel parking spaces.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
We haven't discussed that.
I mean, I guess it's something that, I can ask Public Works. I don't know if there's enough room there or not, but
So if we wanted to follow up with you after this, who do we speak to like do a walkthrough with
I
that?
mean, yeah, I'll get with Dennis or traffic. I mean, you can follow up with me if you want. Yeah.
Works for me. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Any other questions? Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
We have Park Services, Wills Park, and the Equestrian Center.
Oh,
Matt.
good evening, everyone.
How are you?
Doing great. Spring season baseball finally ended. It's a great season. We've got a couple of tournaments coming up here in the next few weeks. We have the Field 5 drainage project is now complete. There was a little issue with the pipe that runs underneath Field 5. They had to go in and re-sleeve it, so we didn't have to dig the whole field up. I can attest that it works great from earlier this afternoon.
Okay.
So really couldn't, I don't think, get any more water in that short amount of time. So might not have an infield, but it drained out in the outfield. Our largest accomplishment here in the last few weeks is we worked with Public Works and were able to repave about 90% of the walking trail that goes along Wills Park. So it was much needed. We've kind of piecemealed it over the years. So to go through and get a nice overlay worked out really nice. We were very strategic with some of our bond projects coming up, not to lay that, so we have to tear it back up and redo it. So the Equestrian Center is always busy. I mean, Wills Park is the place to be. I mean, we've got camps going on. We had Cub Scout camp going on at the Equestrian Center, which turned out great. We've got day camps going on. And then the horse shows have been really well attended during their summer show series. So we've got some big shows coming up here in the next 4 to 6 weeks. So with that, that pretty much concludes my report. Any questions?
Do you have any questions?
Well, yeah. So, so we had garden work day on Saturday, and there was a whole bunch of gardeners coming to work, and somebody had parked a semi across a whole bunch of the parking spaces right there out in front of the garden. So they all looked at me like I should fix that, and I was like, okay, I don't drive a semi, so okay. So what should I have done? Like, should I? And I didn't call you. I was like, okay, fine. They can park somewhere else and walk. But he was kind of hogging up like a good section of the.
It was hard to miss, and I saw it as well. And the guys pretty much went and spoke with them, and they said that they were going to be moving it rather quickly, and it kind of hung around longer. So
Okay.
I think there was a delivery that was scheduled there.
Okay.
It was
Not
it was
at the
for
garden,
us.
not at the tennis, not
It
at
was not for
the
us.
basketball courts.
So-
Like it wasn't a delivery there.
I would suggest in the future, just give me a call.
Okay, I will call you, and I'll ask you to come drive that thing away.
There you go.
Okay,
Sounds good.
thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Matt.
Matt,
Oh,
one,
excuse
one,
me.
one quick question. I was over there Saturday, I guess, taking a walk, believe that or not, but I was watching some baseball over there. The Alpharetta employees that sit over there, I guess they pick up trash and empty trash cans, stuff like that. Is that factored into the cost to rent the fields and stuff for these tournaments?
Yes, for tournament rentals, yes, they have to pay for the staff.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they maintain the fields, or are your people maintain?
We prep the fields, and then we pretty much charge them for any need they need from our staff.
Okay,
So,
all right.
and that's billed at the conclusion of the tournaments.
Any other? Thank you, Matt.
Awesome, thank you.
Senior Operations Division report, Mr. Kirby.
So, ain't they great? Just give them a, yeah. And I'm also going to be kind of pinch hitting a little bit. I've got a couple things to say on behalf of Morgan. But really the big thing that's going on is everybody's aware that we have an RFP, have an RFP out for the bond projects. Remaining bond projects, the bond projects that cover the Wills Park, the Equestrian Center, Rucker Road, and Union Hill Park. Those proposals are in. We're in the review phase right now, and really just trying to value engineer, trying to maximize what we can to make budget. We feel like we have a good map to get that done without sacrificing what was promised in the bond referendum. So we're excited. We're excited about that. If all goes well, we hope to maybe break ground this fall. And of course, prioritizing the Wills Park projects as first priority, and then working in the other parks throughout the timeline. We're also finalizing our budget for 2026. The second reading of the budget will be on June 23rd. And right now, everything that we've asked for as far as our major needs are still being funded, and we're excited about that. If all goes well, we'll have funding to re-turf or put artificial turf on Wills Park Field number 5, which is a 50-50 partnership with the Baseball Association. So $500,000, $250,000 of that is coming from the Baseball Association. It is a much-needed project. Field 5 at Wills Park, if you're not aware of it, Matt was just mentioning there's a drain pipe and all that. Drainage is an issue. I'm sorry?
Matt just fixed Field 5, so we should put the turf somewhere else.
We'll put turf on Field 5 because we need it and it needs drainage. The drain pipe we're talking about that goes under Field 5, is stormwater pipe for the park. The field does not drain, and that's what we got to fix. So if we hope that field is the one that has to do the most maintenance, it's the one that has the most rainouts. And so that's the one that we're going to do. Now, you could do other fields, but that's the one that gets used the most, and that's the one that's going to maximize our staff's time if we take away the maintenance of that. Also, North Park Field 1 through 4 concession stand is also still an item that could be funded. And we're excited about that because that is going to be a design build to basically rebuild that concession stand, to update it, make it larger, make it more accessible for what the needs are right now. Obviously, the bathroom now was built in the 80s and was built for what the needs were then. Our numbers are so much more, and it's time to rebuild it. So it still will have a concession stand, and it'll have more restroom stalls, and it'll just be updated. So we're excited about that as well. And upcoming, on June 25th, the rec board will have a park and program field trip in the place of the workshop in June, from 10 to 3. We'll meet at City Hall about 9:45, load up on the bus. We will have a lunch break within that. Our whole goal of this trip is to try to get the Rec Commission to actually see what's going on in our parks, especially with our day camps. And this week, we feel like is the one that is kind of the peak of our camps. Most camps go on at one time, so we think it's going to be very beneficial. In addition, you'll be able to see what's going on in the parks as we're going to these locations. So we hope you can make that field trip. I think Sarah's going to be sending out more information this week. Did I get it? Did I hit everything? Okay. All right. Other than that, there's really, I don't really have much else to say. Do you have any questions?
Any questions for?
Kirk, I was talking with you, and we were talking about Wacky World, whether there's going to be community involvement or just run it through the construction company to do it. Has any more conversations been had about that?
Yeah. I mean, it is definitely one of the items that was they needed to, give us a proposal on. As of right now, the intent is to do the community build, and the savings of that is pretty significant. So we feel like it's in our best interest to try to achieve that, and we feel like we can. It is going to be the actual company or actually the structure that we've been kind of talking through with the design, and this company, Play by Design. So that's what they do. They specialize in the community build. They'll have people that will come alongside us to get this, get the volunteer program back on track. So we feel confident about that. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, along those lines, I think you might have just touched on it. I know we were ramping up, when we were going to do Wills Park some time ago, the volunteer involvement and fundraising and sponsorships and all that. Do you have any idea about when that's going to get ramped back up again?
Well, I think the main thing that we need to do is make sure that we can finalize the contract and get it signed. And then kind of see where we stand on timeline, and then yes, there are plans to kind of relaunch this campaign, this initiative to the public to kind of get energized and maximize that. So it'll be kind of in conjunction when the contract is finally being approved by council, and then yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah. So you were talking about bathrooms. You were talking about those bathrooms up there between 5, 6, 7, 8. We still are fixing the other bathroom.
Well, the bathroom I'm referring to at North Park
Oh, no, I thought you were
Yeah.
talking, okay.
is 1 through 4 where the quad.
Okay, the North Park bathroom's getting reworked.
Wills Park bathroom, the Wacky World bathroom. is
Yes,
part of
okay,
that.
Wacky World bathroom. Okay, I just wanted to be sure we,
Yeah, that's all, that's included in this
Okay.
package, this package with the current
Okay.
contract, yes.
perfect.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir. Do any of the board members have any items to report or talk about? Nothing? This is public comment time. Would anyone like to come forward and speak on a subject?
You're up, PJ.
Please come forward. Oh, well,
I didn't notice too.
good evening.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I just wanted to come in tonight because it was my first time here. But I do have one thing for Wells Park that for the playgrounds, I have friends who have severe disabilities and can't walk. I would love to see maybe like progression on like wheelchair accessibility. Because I just am worried that a ton of my friends and people out there might not have the ability to get around to the playgrounds. And like with the wheelchairs, with walkers, that it could be an issue and they can't join other people that want to be on the playground, that they want them to play. And I'm trying to stand up for them and also to maybe move that forward with y'all. I know it might not be easy, but I just would love to see if we could push that forward with everything that has been said tonight. Even for myself, I have a disability of my own, and some of it that I cannot even be on the playground due to allergies and for my legs. It's so hard not to be able to see other people being able to have that same issue as I do. And I just want them to maybe learn about the playground, to be able to have a walker up there and also have a wheelchair, and maybe scratching out having, instead of like dirt or mulch, be able to have maybe like something that is able to be on a wheelchair path and be able to not have a hard gravel situation with those who have wheelchairs.
Now, I need to ask a question. Are you talking about actually getting from a parking spot to the playground area?
Yes.
Or the playground area itself?
I'm hoping for just into the playground,
Okay.
and then having a spot to put wheelchairs and walkers into one area, so when they're done playing and when I'm helping with them, is instead of me having to get other people to help bring them to the wheelchairs, to actually being able to maybe having a spot for the wheelchairs or the walkers, or having a spot on the playground where they could use it.
Okay.
I think, Matt might be able to speak to what they're doing at Wacky World. I thought they were adding all
We're going to let Matt speak. Right.
How are you?
Good deal.
Good. So when we go under the construction of the new Wacky World, we will have the inclusive hard surface that will run throughout that playground. So you'll be able to use it. I know that we've added some harder surfaces over by the rec center to kind of open up that inclusivity.
Because I have friends who I volunteer with at Jacob's Ladder that have those kids who want to go out and play. And I every time I try to tell them no, that they can't be able to have access to that.
Sure, well, we want to be a
And
place
I
where they
want
can
that to
come and
make
play.
sure that
Absolutely,
it stands that.
Sure, and that's going to be part of the design for the playground, so.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
That means a lot. Thank you so much.
Isn't that have a fair amount of accessibility over there by the Miracle League field? It's mostly baseball.
Miracle League, that field itself is,
Yeah, the Miracle League field is Mondo, but I thought that the playground, that the Kiwanis or somebody, do you know what I'm talking about, Eric?
Yeah, it's, I mean, it's got the ADA, front mulch, which is supposed to be able to roll through, you know,
Oh,
fairly
it's supposed-
easily.
Okay.
And then, you know, there's several ramps and, accessible things. That whole playground was designed for that.
And I know that Wills Park is not one of those, and I just want to make sure that.
Yeah, no, this
it
was North Park that
stands.
we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, North Park.
Well,
the
Wills
American
Park
League,
is what
yeah.
I'm trying to mainly focus on,
Yeah.
and I just want to make sure
Because
that.
if you're willing to, at this point, until we get the new Wacky World, if you're willing to go up to North Park, it's just up, I don't know if you all know where it is, but it's just up the road. It's one of our parks.
Okay.
And they have you can speak to it, Chantel, about the Miracle League field and the stuff over there.
It was designed for that, and so it does have, what do you call that, Bondo
Well, the field
surface?
itself,
The
yeah,
field itself, so Miracle League uses it, and they maintain a lot of it in conjunction with the city of Alpharetta.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that isn't a
and we-
spot.
and we do have Alpharetta Elementary design
Mm-hmm.
for handicapped accessible, is that correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
that is as well.
But we are working on Wills Park, to your point. Thanks for coming in. But to your point, Wacky World, when it
Yes.
gets completed, it has been taken into consideration to put
Correct.
elements in there that would be.
And then I
be
was
usable.
also worried about the mulch being on the ground for that type of wheelchair, walker situation. That I just want to make sure, like, the balance and everything for them to, have that help to walk out there is going to be stable.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out, making us aware.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So my name is Vijay Desai. I'm kind of two different hats wearing here. So I'm also part of the Alpharetta, the Natural Resources Commission, and I am on the board of a sustainability nonprofit called Green Cell. And I'm working with Green Cell and NRC, so we do some collaborative programs. So one of those is the recycling event that's coming up next weekend. So my volunteers will be picking up hard to recycle styrofoam and things like that, and then we take care of that. So we have a grant managed and all of that. So I sent earlier today an email with some details on how we can offer additional composting opportunities to the citizens. I had a lot of questions. I talked with Amanda, and she answered most of those questions already. So, and thank you, Jit, and I'm unfortunately Jit's neighbor too, but that's a whole different thing. So, thank you for pointing out this call today. So I did not know that this program is not just for the city residents. So that's good. The one that she's managing. So I will help promote that through my nonprofit. In the proposal I sent, there is one option that is something that we can do where this program with the food cycler is good, but there's a cost associated with that. So I don't know, whatever it is, and even with the subsidy, there is a cost. So what we have done is I have designed and built a composter which Amanda has seen a couple of years back. It's in my backyard and three or four other people's backyards. It's a hands-off kind of semi-automated composter where people can drop in their same compostables that they drop in the food cycler, and it kind of works on itself. There's really nothing needed. So we build that at our cost, so this will not have any cost to the city. We're just looking for opportunities to promote this within neighborhoods. So like my neighborhood, I have my neighbors come and drop it off in my backyard, in my composter, and few other neighborhoods who have signed up for it. So I'm looking for support from the city to promote this within neighborhoods, or maybe at the park or the farm, where we can build these composters. We already have gotten the interest from ADP, so we are building these. They want 3 built. We'll see how that goes. But because we are all volunteers, that's the other thing. The organization, I mean, I have a full-time job. Everybody is a volunteer, so no, we don't have any paid employees, right? So we do what we can. So I would like to have the city consider having these composters on the farm and possibly promote them to the neighbors, to the neighborhood, so they can start a neighborhood composting. There will be no cost to the city because we will build those at our cost. For the farm, what we can also do is, because Amanda and I talked earlier, the concern that she has, and I share that, is people will put anything. I mean, the composter in my backyard, I'm not letting people come in and dump stuff in there. I manage that, right? So we can do that. We can do that with the volunteers, just like we're doing next weekend with the recycling event, that we will bring volunteers, and we can do some kind of managed drop-off compost program, either in the neighborhoods, if people are willing to sign up and have this as a host in their backyards, or in the city parks, or in the farm, wherever possible. And there is more information in the material I sent. I'm happy to come back later and present it to you guys, or however you want to do it. So, any questions?
Yeah, you're part of the Natural Resources Commission,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going through the city, through that avenue, and getting the HOA contacts and whatnot?
I have not. I have not gone to the city through that avenue, through the Natural Resources Commission. I just happened to see this presentation today, and I'm like, well, I'll come talk. So no, I have not tried going through the Natural Resources Commission, especially because of this community composting program already existing within the domain, I'm assuming, of this commission, right? So that's kind of why I said, well, I don't want to step out of the boundary, I guess.
Okay. I think it's a great thing you're trying to do. Obviously, my mind spins on what has to happen, how it has to happen.
Yeah.
Tell me again, what are you looking for this board to help you do?
So 2 things. One is help with the promotion, right? Similar to, so through the social media, through the newsletters, however it is, that, make this an official city program in collaboration with the Green Cell, my nonprofit, so we can promote it. And possibly help find a 1 or 2 spots, whether it's in the parks or in the farm, wherever it might be, where we can create these as a drop-off point for people, which we will have a volunteer sit. And so it won't be like the glass drop-off. You can't just come and drop off anytime. That won't work for this. So we will have to manage that. So I have somebody work with me to figure this out, how the logistics will work and all that, and possibly have a location or 2.
Well, I think what we can do is we can, when Director Rogers gets back, bring this to him, see what he thinks we can do.
I'm sorry, who?
Morgan Rogers, who is the director of the Parks and Rec Department.
Okay.
We'll need to get him a little bit involved, see what he thinks, where it could go, if it can go, those type things, and then possibly give some feedback to you. Do we know how to get in touch with you?
Yeah.
Okay. And see where we can take it from there, if that's okay. I don't want to make any promises, but I do think it's interesting.
No, that's fine. I mean, I'm not expecting.
I do think it's interesting.
I came with no expectations.
Yes,
I came with no expectations. So yeah, whatever I can get to get this moving forward. Sorry, you have a question?
Vijay, tell me a little bit about the footprint of the composter that you're building.
So you guys are welcome to come visit my house and take an actual look at it anytime. I mean, we live, a mile from here. It's a 4 feet by 4 feet on the ground, and it's a 4 by 4 by 4 box. That's all it is, and it is a fully enclosed. So there's no question of any rodents or any pest or anything getting in there, because it's a pressure treated ground contact 3/4 inch external plywood. So the rodents can't bite through it. It's the same thing that you have on your roof, right? And it has it's an aerated pile, and I don't want to get into too much technical. Amanda knows how this stuff works, but it works. We've had this running for 3 years in multiple locations. I have my neighbors, I drop my compost, I go maybe stir the pile once a month. I do nothing, I'm lazy. I do nothing with it, right? It just works. I just cannot compost any commercially compostable material. So your Chipotle takeout container, it's the same thing as the food cycler. The food cycler will not do that either. So that's basically what it is. It's essentially a food cycler, much larger scale for neighbors to come and drop off. So.
Do we have any questions?
I have two. Are there any other places that this is already in place for, like any other organizations or that use your product?
So we have it in 3 more houses so far. One in Johns Creek, one in Cumming, and one in Suwannee.
Okay.
Right? So these are all friends and family. They're part of my nonprofit, so we all built this. It requires some community, but it takes about a day to build. 3 or 4 people come together. We get it from Home Depot. We built it. There's really nothing fancy about it. The most expensive piece is wood, being what it is right now, and that's about it. There's really nothing complicated or fancy about it.
Thanks. And second question, because you're thinking about putting in a community area, does the unit smell? Because you have food product in there.
So that's the thing, because it is fully enclosed, you will not have any smell. Like, you can talk to my neighbors, they haven't complained, there's no noise. So it works in a manner where it is within the city noise ordinance, right? So it does not generate any noise, takes very little electricity because there is a blower, your leaf blower. I use a leaf blower to blow air into these boxes. Right? That's what keeps that's kind of the flux capacitor. That's what makes this work. So there's no odor, there's no pests going in, and it is really idiot proof. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You require very little operational time. What you need to make sure is the stuff that is going in is actually the right stuff to go in. Right? That's where the supervision is required. Like, accepting material, people will put anything in it, and that won't work. So that's where the supervision is required. So
The compost machine box that you're talking about putting in, if we put it in the farm or wherever, same size 4x4?
We can build bigger. The reason I have it 4x4 is because Home Depot sells 4x8.
Gotcha.
It's that simple as that, and I get them to cut it for me, so I don't have to do anything.
Still a rough size you're proposing.
Yes. Okay. And the reason for that is because they sell everything in, the plywood is 4x8, and so you cut it in half, and that's about it. Yeah. So it's pretty simple to build, but yeah.
Any other questions?
All right.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, I am going to ask for a motion to adjourn. Can I have a second? No? It has been moved by Board Member Rand and seconded by Board Member Norton that we adjourn the meeting at, she turned the time off on me.
6:36.
At 6:36 p.m., I'll now call for a vote. Please vote. Let's do, okay, it's coming, okay. It has passed 8-0. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Hopefully we'll see you on the trip. Yes, the 25th. Yes.